we're out here on Tier Maker. Someone thankfully made this, so we didn't have to make it. But these are some of the Club World Cup kits. I believe these are probably all the home kits for the Club World Cup and the 32 teams that are competing this year. So, Alexi, take us away.
Yeah, man, I'm going to say up front, I think this tournament is stupid because some of these teams, bro, I never heard of in my life. So I literally am going off visuals for some of these. I apologize. I don't know your team, but hey, this is all about the aesthetics right now. We're going to pick on our Champions League winners first. PSG, their brand new kit. I think this kit is sick. I need this kit personally. I think, for me, because of that, clearly, it's S tier. But what do you guys think?
I like it. I like it. I always thought PSG was pretty clean. I think this one especially is really clean. S, I don't know. Minimum A though. Minimum A for sure.
Minimum A. Eric?
You're muted.
Yeah, no, I was clicking through. I was trying to see it in my own tab, like bigger. This is tough, man. So would you say S tier just strictly based on the fact that it's an iconic kit and that it pretty much?
I think just the design of it. I think the pattern is beautiful. I think previously, like last season's kit, this past season, their first main kit, I was not a fan of it. I thought it looked messy. I thought it didn't look clean. It didn't really, it looked like, how the Parisians love to riot, man. It looked like one of them designed a shirt. So this one to me is more just presentable, and it gives that Paris vibe. Aside from the riots. Night in Paris, man. Exactly.
I'm not mad at S. I would be fine with putting this at S.
Yeah, that's majority.
There we go. Next up, we're going to do, I believe this is Al Hilal, and specifically, this is the Kid Super collaboration. So the brand / designer Kid Super, he designed a bunch of kits with Puma, and this one, I am also going to have to go S tier, bro. I stay hating on the Saudi League, but I mean, the moon, just in the way it's integrated with these lines, these vertical stripes, clean. The one downside that I could see bringing it down to A tier is that sponsor, man. Savvy, what the hell is that? Savvy? Are you kidding me? Anyways, what do y'all think?
I like this one too. I think I always love a blue kit, obviously, but I also like their logo. Out of all the Saudi teams I've seen, I always thought they had a clean badge as well. Puma, I always think Puma's underrated as well.
Puma underrated.
Exactly. I agree with the sponsors, not the best, but I can look past it. I'd probably give it an A.
I would also say A. I do like the crescent moon. It looks clean overall, but if I were to put it at S, that mean I would have to put it right up there with PSG, and I just don't quite think it's there. But still very clean kit. Not mad at it. Looks good.
All right. Another pretty calm agreement right there. I will pick one that has been divisive online from what I've seen, and that's Bayern Munich's new kit. I won't lie. I immediately saw this and I really liked it. It's very different from the previous Bayern kits. However, I will note two things. That T sponsor, that T-Mobile, I'm guessing, way too big. Like, distractingly huge. And secondly is, even though I like this design and the shapes I see, it also kind of looks like someone's like bleeding through their white tee. So I'm mixed on it, and because of that, I would maybe put it like high B tier.
I'm not mixed on it, man. I would say C tier, man. This is pretty bad. Like, the sponsor cannot overtake, obviously, like visually, right? Like, the sponsor was always going to be bigger than the logo or the badge, the shield. I don't know. Like, this looks like the T-Mobile all first team kit. Like, I just don't rock with it. Bayern Munich usually has, I associate it with like the iconic, just like red and blue, or just like the all red. But this, it just, nah, I just can't with it. Adidas has been missing a whole lot, in my opinion, with their kits. I think this is
calm
another.
calm
Nah,
down. Don't hate on
nah,
Adidas like that. Calm
nah.
down.
When it comes to soccer, Adidas has been on my bad side, man. I'm also
Oh,
biased, but
we'll save this for another day.
That's another
I
conversation.
can't. I can't argue about this right now. Dre, where are you ranking this?
D tier, bro. This is terrible. I don't like this kit at all. I think the way they did. I appreciate them trying to do something different, but the way that white comes up at the bottom there, it just creates a weird shape that doesn't feel like it has any true intention behind it. You're just like, oh, let's just do something different for the sake of doing something different. Yeah, I don't know, it just looks really weird. Like, maybe I need to see it on a body. Pause, but see it like actually in action. But I did not watch their 10-0 game that they had the other day. But yeah, just this photo alone, I'm not liking it. So I think,
all right, man,
the average is probably C.
Average is looking like a low C potentially. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna try and speed through a bit more because there are a ton of kits here. We'll go with Chelsea next. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is really basic. I like this previous season with the iridescent look. I can appreciate that there's no sponsor. I don't know if that's a temporary thing, but this is like just boring. Like, I don't see this as an exciting kit in any dimension. So D tier for me.
I think it's a B. I think because of all the things you said, it's like a pretty standard, like not crazy but not terrible. B is like right in the middle. I mean, I think B makes sense to me. I think if it's negative, then I would go down to C. But I don't feel anything negative toward it. The no sponsor also boots it a little bit, but I can't say it's anything crazy. So I think B for me.
I would also say B. Looks like a practice jersey, if I'm being honest, but
Yeah.
it's also not terrible. So I think B is right.
Y'all are too generous. Next, we go to probably one of the worst kits, Man City, bro. This is also a Kid Super collab, but this is actually the better version of Man City's actual kits this season, because, boy, we're going to hate on those in another episode. But this is a Milan kit in disguise, bro. I don't know what they're doing with the black and red and the white. Like, this literally looks like AC Milan's like third kit from a season or two ago. It's D tier for me. Awful, horrible, like, makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm cool with D, man. I have never been a fan of like the stripes, like the diagonal stripes on soccer jerseys. I think it's very hard to make those work, and this is a clear example of that. So I would also say D tier.
Yeah, definitely D. Even like the top corner, like where the stripe goes up to the shoulder, it just like disconnects a bit there. It just, I don't know.
Not even consistent. Like, what are we doing?
It doesn't look good.
Does not look good. All right, we're aligned there. Next up, we will do RB Leipzig. I think if this wasn't for them, like if it had a different sponsor, this would be a sick jersey. But it's not. It's for them. And because of that, I think it's like maybe a B tier, like right in the middle.
I actually don't mind the Red Bull sponsor. I think the tough thing, and then maybe it's Salzburg, I don't even know, but the fact that they have
is it Salzburg?
I don't know. One of them. It's one of them. But I don't know.
We're gonna get to a point where we're not even saying the teams.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know how well Leipzig did in the leagues. I don't know if they're in this, but either way, I think because they own so many teams, then you kind of get sick of seeing it across, and it kind of dilutes it a bit. But I think inherently, the logo is so balanced because it's so symmetrical with the two bulls looking at each other. I think most of these other ones, because they're just, you don't have that inherent symmetry. Because this is an image, I do actually like their sponsor. The kit itself, though, Like the sponsor low-key makes it better. The kit, I don't like the look of it. I might have to get a D.
D, I think is a little bit harsh though. I would say this is a B. I think it looks fine. I think it looks clean. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hey, what'd you give it? Alexi, you gave it a B as well.
I gave it a B. So it'll be low B.
Fair enough.
Next up, probably my favorite jersey that I've seen so far for next season, Real Madrid, man. This looks like a classic. This looks like something they're gonna win every tournament and title in. It gives that 2000s vibe with the piping on the side, pause on that. But yeah, the color combination here, if the hit's a gold, perfect, man, perfect. I'm gonna need this kit or something from them because yeah, this is S tier, easy. I think compared to PSG, it might be even above that purely because it gives those classic vibes.
That's fair. Man, I'll say A tier just because it doesn't like, yeah, it just doesn't like fully blow me away. But I can always respect when a Real Madrid kit can incorporate the gold. I know it's not something they do all the time, but I feel like every time they do it, it hits, and this is that. So I'll say A tier for me.
I actually agree. I think, to be fair, I will preface by saying I'm biased against white kits, like all white kits. I know it's clean, whatever, but I always think a color kit is more interesting. So I think even if I were to put it S, it couldn't go above PSG. But I think A. I think A is fine because it's safe. It doesn't do anything crazy, but it does everything it's trying to do decently well. So I think A is fair enough.
Okay. I can agree with those. Next up, Dortmund, the Sancho fighters. This goes to D, man. This goes to D. I don't know if they were trying to make a soccer ball, like with this upper half and the bottom half. I don't know, dude. I like Kid Super a lot. I like what he does a lot, but he missed on this one for me personally. Or maybe he also just liked Sancho and just wanted to give Dortmund a bad kit. That's also a very reasonable option. So, yeah.
What do you think, Eric?
I'll say C. It's not. I don't think it's bad enough to be D. But when you have a club like Dortmund that's iconic, like it doesn't take that much to release a solid kit, and I think this was them trying to do too much. So I'd put it at C.
I'd actually give this a B. I know it sounds crazy, but I kind of like it. Like, it is doing too much, to be fair. I couldn't put it any higher. Like, he couldn't decide on which design he's going for. I think doing both, like the circular design and the lines at the bottom, I think it's a bit much. But I just like when the kit goes for something, like all those Nigeria kits that you usually see for like the tournaments and stuff. I like when kits go for something.
Do not compare those to
Execution is not on the same level. That's, I can appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. I think with the average, it comes out to below Bayern in our C rank. Next, we will go to Inter Miami, man. Messi's team. I actually like this sponsor because I don't know who they are, and I think it's a cool logo. And I can appreciate when it's just a logo sitting there and it kind of blends in the anchor, Miami, the ocean, the crown. That's like Messi, eh? But the kit itself, it's nothing too crazy. It looks a bit exciting for Miami standards, so I think this is maybe high B. I would definitely put it above Chelsea.
Interesting.
I think B is fine. Sorry, Dre, were you gonna go?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think B is fine. I'm not a huge fan of the sponsor. I just don't like how, like, when it's so centered, it just doesn't. I don't know. I prefer sponsors that have like letters or like that, or kind of stretch across the entire chest. Whereas I feel like this is just like, I don't know. It looks too simple. Doesn't look finished, if I'm being honest. But it's the Inter Miami kit. I think it's always gonna hit because of the pink and black. So I'll put it at B.
I'd give it a C. I'm not gonna lie. I don't love it. And I have liked some Inter Miami kits. I do think, yeah, like you said, the color combination is solid. But this one, yeah, like you said, I don't love the sponsor. I think it's a little on the big side. And to me, like the two shades of pink, I don't like either shade of pink that much. Which is why I guess they're both I think on either side of a shade of pink. If it was just like a solid shade of pink, but it's not bad though. It's not bad.
Yeah. Well, speaking of pink, we will go to Juventus, which definitely had that iconic pink jersey back in the day.
That was a banger.
But
oh my god,
this looks awful, dude. The stripes look like something you see on top of your car in Need for Speed. Like, it's just not symmetrical in any way. Doesn't look good. I hate still. I know it's been a few years, but this new Juve logo is just dog, bro. Go back to the old one. It had so much more class and character. This is just bland. And then also, like, hot take, but I hate the Jeep logo. Like, I know there's some iconic kits with it, but I can't stand it. And it looks like they have another logo under it too, or something. So this is straight D. This is actually worse than Cities, I think.
That's crazy. Because I actually thought the pink incorporated with the white and black looked kind of clean. The one thing that's throwing me off is that second sponsor on the bottom. So that's something I can't rock with. But had that, I would have honestly I think it was between, because of that second sponsor, I'll put it at a B. Had that second sponsor not been there, I would have put this at A personally.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere in between you guys. I think, yeah, that second sponsor really ruins it. I think it says Visit Detroit, which is like, who the hell's doing that, bro? That's crazy.
Oh, what?
That's crazy. I like Eric said, I like the pink with the black and white, but also the non-symmetrical lines, like racing stripes in the middle. Just like, if you just shifted it over a little bit, you got something.
Just make it symmetrical, man.
Why
like,
not?
I don't know what they did with this.
I'd probably have to give it a C, just because those two things really don't work, but it had a lot of potential.
Yeah, the potential was there. I hope they revisit the pink. Like, it definitely has a place with their team.
Yeah,
but man, that was a fumble. Next up, I am blanking on these two teams, but these are both Kid Super jerseys. I believe, I want to say one of them is obviously from Brazil, but the other one might also be. I think. Yeah, Palmeiras, I think, is this left one. This is S tier, I think, for the homage to Brazil and just the color and also the art behind it. It's so fun. It's so full of character. And that's always something I appreciate in a jersey. You know, no matter the symmetrical stripes or, you know, the sponsor placement, this everything works out in its favor, I think.
What do you say, Dre?
I kind of like it too. The issue is the colors. You know, I understand it's a Brazil, I guess, homage, so I can appreciate that in its own way. But if I'm thinking like actually wearing it, it's a bit tough to work with. But I do like the imagery. I do like the Puma. It's just the blue collar. I'm not 100% sold on. I probably have to give this a B in the end, just balancing that. But I do think, like you said, like the imagery on the kit, I can appreciate more than just like some solid background or something.
Yeah, I think the imagery is a good idea. I just don't know if I like the execution on this one. I think the colors are fine with me. I think they fit, but the actual like graphic, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it. But that's not to say that I can't appreciate their attempt at like kind of thinking outside the box. But I'll say B. I'll say B for this.
Also, apparently this kit is actually the Mamelodi Sundowns FC, a South African team.
Oh, so not even Brazilian?
Not even Brazilian.
Not gonna lie though, now that you said it's an African team,
It
I don't
makes
know
more
why
sense.
that kind of
That goes down to
more
B
sense.
tier for me, bro. That is such a Brazilian jersey. That is crazy.
I
Wow.
think it bumps it up for you, Eric.
Just because I think that's more like
The imagery makes
like it-
sense.
yeah, like it
And the
kind of makes
sponsor,
more
too.
sense. Yeah, but nah, I think we can keep it where it is. I think that's still
I think-
fine. I think
Yeah, I think that's fair.
yes,
I
we're
feel
not offended by
betrayed.
that.
I feel betrayed. Those colors, that is like so Brazil. That is crazy. Wow. So much football knowledge here. um, the last Kid Super kit. Maybe this is Palmeiras, bro.
that's
I don't know
Palmeiras.
anymore.
I think that's Palmeiras.
This fucking fire. I always love cream and green. That combo, just aesthetically, I've always appreciated. And they did a good job here with the little pit spots and the collar and the sponsor and everything all matching in that shade. And the design too. It's hard to see here, but if you look it up on your own, this jersey is clean. And
I agree.
it is also S tier.
I agree. S tier. This is probably like my favorite one.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'd probably give it A, so it's not that crazy. But I just don't love the
Take
sponsor.
those.
I know we talked about betting sponsors. I don't love
That's
that.
true.
But
That is the one downside.
yeah,
That is the one
it's
downside.
it's a great kit.
I also don't love Qatar Airways on everything, but
Yeah.
give PSG the benefit of a doubt. All right. I think now we are down to, well, we do still have some bangers actually. Inter Milan, the fumblers of the year, and they got a jersey kind of deserving of that because what in the lava lamp is this, bro? It looks like a seismograph, like the thing that measures earthquakes, and a lava lamp combined. I don't know about this. I love the color combo and the hues of the colors, but it just looks messy to me. And Nike been fumbling kits, I believe, for the vast majority of teams in recent years, and this is another one. So for me, I maybe give it high C, low B.
Yeah, the way you were talking, I thought you were gonna give it like a D. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, because that City one is atrocious. But I think it really is the colors and just Inter always having those vertical stripes, which saves this one. But just barely.
I think for me, the fact that the stripes aren't symmetrical is what throws it off for me. I'm not mad at the shade of blue with the combination of black. The little stripes right beneath the sponsor, or I guess you could say beneath the sponsor on the right side of the jersey, or I guess you could say left side if you're wearing it. But I think that's what throws it off for me. But besides that, I'm not mad at this kit. So I would say let's go with B. Actually, yeah, let's go with B.
Okay.
I was gonna say A, but yeah.
Well, maybe. Okay, here's the thing. I'll tell you something I heard about this kit that I don't know if this will bump it up for you or not. But apparently, the reason why the lines are like that is because it's meant to actually spell out Inter. Like the way the lines are bending will help to make that R. So it's like INTER if you go through. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's exactly what the intent was, but that would make sense because otherwise, why the hell do you
Bro,
have some
for
random...
who? A blind person? What?
I saw a video where like it focuses on it and you see it a little clearer. Even to this day, I couldn't exactly point it out for you because it's.
I'm trying to squint my eyes to like try and blur the.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough.
That's
But,
some bull crap.
To me, that doesn't necessarily take it one way. I love blue and black as a combo. I'm super biased toward that. So I probably actually give this an A. Personally.
So it ends up in B as the average. All right. Next up, I believe this is LAFC. Well, it looks like Vegas Strip FC. That is a D for me, dog. I don't know what that sponsor is, but it looks like crap. The amount of lines, it just gives like Trump golden Visa card, like Fugazi scam vibes. So, yeah, I really dislike that.
I don't hate the sponsor, and it's also like their arena name is the BMO Stadium. Like that's their home stadium. So I don't hate the sponsor. I will say I do hate the little like circular logo next to it. If it just straight up said BMO, just like that, I would be a bigger fan of this kit. But I think black and gold is fine. I think this is a hard color combination to mess up. So, man, I will say I maybe I am biased because I wouldn't say I'm an LAFC fan. I don't watch MLS, and but they do hold a little bit of a soft spot in my heart. So I will say this is B. This is also B.
Like you said, it is tough to mess up black and gold, but they tried their hardest. And I think off that alone, yeah, I don't like this. The balance of the sponsor is off because of like the size of the part on the right, balancing with the words doesn't work. The stripes, just like the shape, not the shape, like the size of the stripes aren't the best either. I don't know. Black and gold, like, yeah, black and gold is the only thing that's making. So I probably have to give this a C.
See, it is the average once more. Brutal averages today. Next up, this jersey. I don't know who it is, but I get some Knights Templar vibes, but in the blue and with some paint.
I'll tell you who that is. That is Monterrey, bro. That is an iconic team.
My bad.
All good, man. They're not.
I
my
will
team.
say, it's fire though. For me, I actually think I have to put this at A tier, behind what we have already in A tier. But I have to put it up there. I really like this.
That's interesting. Their nickname is the Rayados, which is like the striped ones, basically. They're like the Stingrays is also like part of their like
Stingray vibes from this.
Their branding. But I just personally, I am biased. I prefer the iconic striped logo, and this appears to be a little bit more of like I don't want to put it up there with the Bayern kit, but it does give very similar vibes. But I do think the execution is better, and I think Puma did their thing on this one, so I don't hate it. So I would say B tier for me. I feel like a lot of these have been getting B for me, but this is B.
That's fair. I agree that I think this is just a way better version of what Bayern were going. I think this one just makes more sense for the team as well. Like some of the things you described, and also like if you look at their badge, like they have the M inside the stripes, and the actual stripes are cut off in the badge where the M are. So if you actually compare that to the kit, this is actually more accurate to their badge in a way. And then the blue is kind of forming that M around white in a way. So to me, I think this is actually pretty well executed. I'm gonna give that an A.
You cut out for a sec. You give that what?
An A.
Hell yeah. There we go. We're getting a full chart here now. Next up, I believe, is this Benfica?
Yeah.
Or this is kind of disappointing. I actually like this past season their kit. And this to me is just, it gives fake Real Madrid. I mean, I know they have the same sponsor, which is a big part of it, and they're both Adidas, but nothing about this stands out to me. Like, it's painfully average. And so because of that, I don't know whether that's low C, high, or high C, low B, but somewhere around there.
Yeah, I'm probably giving this. Yeah, I was also gonna say C. I don't love this shade.
Yeah.
I don't know what the usual shade is, but for me, this feels a little off. I don't know if it's the photo, like there's some flash using this photo or something, but the shade just looks a little foo-foo. Maybe you got this little on the off market or something.
Maybe. Next up, bruh, we got 4K nowadays. Why are we sponsoring HD, high definition? because I mean, let me tell you, this jersey is the definition of mid. It goes C. It can't be high.
I have to agree, honestly. Yeah, it's not. I like a blue kit, but this one it's like LA Galaxy a bit to me, where it's just not hit. I have to. Yeah, low C, low C.
Yeah, it's not a bad kit. It reminds me of like Tigres, which is another Mexican team. And they're also located in Monterrey, like fun fact. So they are like the rival to Monterrey, but this is not that team. But it really gives that similar vibe. But yeah, I'm gonna say C as well. It's kind of underwhelming if I'm being honest. It's safe, but it doesn't hit, you know. That's
Yeah.
just me.
All right, next up, I don't even know what manufacturer this is, but I love checkered patterns, and I love checkered patterns with dark blue, and I especially love a hit of red. I think that sponsor is really well placed. This for me, honestly, it might be high B, like above Chelsea.
What do you think, Eric?
I'm not mad at that. That is tough. I will say I do like the shade of blue as well. Let's give this A, man. I don't see what doesn't, you know. I would say A for me. Like I think this is good.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I think the other B jerseys had something holding me back. I don't think I have really a critique on this kit.
Fair, honestly. I'm not always the biggest fan of the checker, but I have liked it on some like those Croatia kits recently, and I'm starting to warm up to it. I think this one's solid too. I think the fact that it's not two completely different colors, like it's more of a subtle checker pattern, I think works. And like you said, that sponsor is actually not bad. Like the little red tab below the words too. Yeah, it kind of all pulls it together. I'll give that an A.
I like that. Next up, Atletico Madrid. Bro, y'all gotta leave Nike. What is this? The sponsor looks terrible. The shade of red looks awful. I really dislike just the collar by the looks of it. Like the collar like looks non-existent. I think it's a low C as well.
I agree. I put this at C.
I damn near put this at D, bruh. Like the red in their
I
badge
honestly,
is so
I can
vibrant.
change my answer to a D. Like this is bad.
Yeah, I think because they have such easy colors to work with. What the hell is it? Why are you making the red darker than the badge? Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Why they went with that? I don't like that at all.
awful decision. Don't know what this team is, but it looks classic. It looks like a classic. It doesn't have a sponsor. I mean, I don't think it has a pattern on it. I can't really tell. But if it does, it looks minimal enough. It does?
Yeah.
Well, it still looks clean to me. I'm putting that A tier behind the Ultra kit we just put in.
Interesting. I will say I've always been a fan of like the Kappa sponsorship. Like I've always been a fan of Kappa jerseys. You guys remember when like Kappa was like really in like street?
It was a thing for a year. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like 2018, 2019. But this jersey in particular, I'm not sure if I love the execution, so I'll put this at C.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just don't love the white stripes, and I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. Doesn't appeal.
This one's tough because of this photo. It was like the only photo we're just waving in the wind or something. It's kind of hard to give it a fair judgment. I looked it up, and this is Wydad Casablanca. It's probably not how you pronounce it at all, but it's a Moroccan team actually. Surprisingly, I like it though. I'm biased to wear blue instead of red, but this one I actually don't mind. It's white collar. It makes sense. I guess it balances it out. I probably give this low A, high B, like around there.
There we go. All right, next up, we'll do these 2-in-1 because they look damn near the exact same.
I think
This
they're both
E
Al
and the
something.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Al something, man.
Al Ali and
Well, I'll tell you what, they all belong in the trash. These are D tier. Boring, basic, looks like a middle school sponsored charity match. These are terrible.
This does look like yeah, actually I can see that. Yeah, but I will say the little burgundy one, you have the mouse over. I would say that one's worse. Like if I had to pick
I agree.
out of these two, so I'd put that at D, and then I'd put that little purple one at C. Personally,
I agree. I think
I put this at C even.
it's
That's
a low
generous.
C. It's a low C, but
That's
out of
generous.
the two, that shade of purple I actually kind of like.
yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fair. We got the Betson. Yeah, this looks
Boca
like
Junior?
some fake shit you would buy off the side of a street. That
Hold
is a
on.
D tier.
Let's put some respect on Boca Juniors, man. This is an iconic.
Yeah, I don't want them Argentinians coming after me, bro.
Bro,
Iconic.
y'all got the creativity to have a better kit than this, bro. What is this? I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, I historically
Oh, man.
like Boca Juniors color combo. It's kind of like Sweden as well. I usually like Sweden kits too. I don't love how segmented the blue to yellow to blue is. I think it's a little too harsh. But yeah, the sponsor isn't great either. But the colors are great. I'd probably give this a B, balancing it out.
I would also give this a B. I think when you have an iconic jersey and you're really sticking to historically what you've put out in the past, I think it's hard to really mess it up. So I would say
Y'all
B.
are being generous.
I prefer to
Y'all
the
are being
River Plate.
generous.
If we had to, let's go with River Plate now. Let's go back to back because those are always
Do that.
compared. I always like the Boca Junior kits over River Plate kits.
Which one's the River Plate one?
Like
Where is
the white with like the red stripe diagonal.
Looks like the Peru jersey.
Oh, here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This? I like
River
this.
Plate, though, so
I like
it is kind of iconic. I'm not gonna lie.
This is kind of
I mean,
clean.
it's pretty standard for what they go for.
I was gonna say it's clean, but it's standard. I would give this a B tier, like right next to it, probably.
That's fair. That's honestly fair. I think, I think some of the design choices are actually executed better, but I prefer the color combo. So I'd probably balance it out in the end.
All right. This team,
Porto.
Beautiful. That is, I might put that between Real Madrid and Al Hilal. Mainly because I love those colors. The sponsor placement is cool. Looks like New Balance. I love the gold detailing. Again, not my favorite sponsor, but the kit itself, I think, is really good. Really, really good.
I like this one too. I think, the nice shade of blue, I think works well with the badge, which, we can't say of Atletico Madrid. Just solid amount of stripes, nothing too crazy. And I think, I agreed. I don't love the sponsor, but I think the blue did well to kind of blend the sponsor in. So it's actually not too abrasive on this one. I'd actually give this low S, low key. I actually would give this low S.
I'm mad at that. Eric?
Yeah. Porto, also soft spot in my heart. Yeah, and it's a New Balance kit. New Balance, I think they're pretty good at executing their kits as well. So I would just say A, just because it doesn't blow me away, but it's good. It's very solid.
All right.
Very, very solid.
With this average, I think that puts it ahead of Al Hilal.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but they're very close. They're very close, I will say. Next up, we'll do this Kappa jersey. This is just a pure bias thing. I never really liked red and yellow together that much to that extent. It gives McDonald's vibes. I think it works in bursts, but with this, I'm not feeling it. However, that's more of just a color combo of the team. The actual kit itself seems simple, just stripes, classic. I can't be too mad at it, but I think it has to be maybe high C, low B.
Is this an African team?
Yeah, this is Espérance, which is a Moroccan team as well. Oh no, sorry, they're gonna kill me for that. A Tunisian team. A Tunisian
Oh.
team. I'm gonna get murdered in my sleep for that. But this is a Tunisian team, Espérance. I just gotta shout out these African teams, man. They're actually going for stuff with kits more than all the other teams. They're actually going for way more interesting designs.
I agree, and I think because it's an African team, it is it works a little bit for me. It doesn't blow me away, but I will say I do like the. I think this is as good as you're able to make a red and yellow kit. I do like the black collar. It kind of adds a little bit of balance. Yeah. So I'd put this at B, man. I would put this at a low B.
I think same. Only because at the end of the day, you can't help but see Ronald McDonald. So there's only so much you could give it.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Next, Seattle Sounders, man. More like Seattle Sleepers, D tier. Terrible. Looks like you go to sleep with that, like pajamas. Like this is.
Don't
what
love
more
the
can I say?
sponsor either. Providence.
Don't love that.
Yeah.
We advertising Rhode Island and Seattle. What are we doing?
I was a fan of. Do you guys remember when Seattle Sounders had like the Xbox sponsorship?
I so wish I got a jersey back then because the aura on that was crazy.
That was fire.
Yeah, I missed that. So
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, but it's not terrible though. But I would give this a high C.
Yeah, I hate this. I absolutely hate this. I'm giving this a D, bro. The combo of a light green and a light blue stripe is absolutely criminal. Like I don't know who designed this for that color combo. The fact that it blends, but not blends enough, so it just looks. I would hate
like
seeing
most
this
MLS jerseys. I feel like it's just awful color combos.
I would hate seeing this on FIFA. If like a team of a pro clubs team was playing this kit, I would hate to come up against that.
Make me rage.
Screw that.
All right, next we'll go. This looks like a Reebok kit. This actually reminds me a bit of the kits of the Greek soccer team PAOK I support, and because of that, I'm a little biased. And I'm gonna have to put that maybe high B above Chelsea. It looks classic. I like the stripes. Not a fan of the sponsor, but you know it's black and white, so it's not standing out that much. Yeah, kind of just seems average, which B tier is.
That's fair. I think this looks like this is a Botafogo RJ, a Brazilian team, and my only issue with this, because like you said, it's hard to go wrong with just a classic black and white stripe, but this looks very like even their badge, which I don't hate. It's very
badge
simple,
I don't mess
very
with,
classic, but it looks very generic. Like it just looks very like this actually looks like this FIFA create a club. Yeah, very much like the basic before you make any changes to it. This is what did we get, and in that sense, I don't love it. And the sponsor, if the sponsor was better, I could see this as a B, like a very generic average kit. But the sponsor brings it down a bit. I give this like a C.
Yeah, I'll give this a high C. It doesn't blow me away, but I also don't hate it. Like it doesn't rub me the wrong way. I do like seeing Reebok on a soccer jersey though.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Like
you don't see that often.
Yeah.
Shout out Reebok, underrated as well.
Shout out Reebok. We got this kit. Don't know who the manufacturer is. But that sponsor logo is kind of sick. And I like the blue and white stripes. However, the collar, something about that V-neck collar, it's a little too much, a little too deep.
I I agree. I'll tell you who this is to this Pachuca. So this is the other Mexican soccer team in
Got
the
you.
tournament.
Look, man, Mexico's doing all right with their kits. This is, I think, maybe a mid B tier for me.
I will say it's interesting because these aren't like the top Mexican clubs. Like these aren't the iconic clubs out of the country. So I think they showed up. But I will say I do agree with you. Honestly, this is probably more of what I would have wanted out of Monterrey. But the white or the collar just does kind of throws it off for me, and I'm not a huge fan of the sponsorship, but it is pretty on brand for the team. So I will say I'd put this at like a mid B, like a B.
I love everything about it other than that V-neck, like you said. And I'm thinking also from the perspective of wearing it, I would never wear something with that low a V-neck. Like, it's just a little too much. So for that sense, taking that into account, I probably have to give this like a C.
All right, so average wise, bit on the mid lower end of the B tier.
Yeah, that's fair.
We got 3 left, all with hits of red. Flabet. That is a terrible sponsor. That is so distracting. I honestly, every time I look at this jersey, I'm just seeing Flabet. Sounds like a fake Flemish meal or something. I gotta put that D tier.
I believe this is Flamengo, like the Brazilian team. I've traditionally not minded their kits. I think black and red is pretty solid combo. Never really goes wrong. But I think this one, like the stripes are just a little too basic. I can appreciate that the Adidas logo is nicely with the stripe. I can always appreciate that, and you got the badge there too. But yeah, the sponsor is trash. The stripes are a little too generic shape wise, like size wise. This is like a solid C.
Interesting. Yeah, the sponsorship, it does throw me off a little bit. The way it's placed kind of reminds me of, I know Alexi was mentioning like the kids soccer jerseys that had been released, and they have that like ESPN logo across the middle of the jersey. It does give me a little bit of those vibes. But black and red, man, I'm a little biased, but I'm always gonna be a fan of that color combination. I would have put this at like a low B.
Interesting. I think we end up mid C with this. I do like the black and red. It's just really that sponsor absolutely murders it in my eyes. 2 left. We got Super Bet. Do we know what team this is? It looks like an Umbro manufacturer. I mess with Umbro. Shout out Umbro.
I was trying to find it, but I can't exactly. The only team I've seen that's in the Club World Cup that I haven't seen yet is Auckland City FC. I don't think we've seen them yet. It was a New Zealand team. I'm not sure if that's them necessarily, but
Got
yeah,
you.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Whoever it is, bruh, they need to find a new sponsor.
Oh, I found who it is.
The kit itself.
This is Fluminense from Brazil. That makes sense.
Fluminense. Man, y'all Brazilians need some new sponsors, man. That's the moral of the story today. But I think it's just kind of basic and in a bit worse way than our other B tier jerseys. So for me, it's kind of just a C by affiliation. I would put it next to Flabet, the Flabet boys.
Yeah, I'd put this at like a low C. I'm just not a fan of the color combination, that combination agreeing with that combination of maroon or whatever you want to call that, and then the sponsorship I just can't rock with. Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. This looks like a pajama set, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it also kind of gives me like, not only because of the Super Bet sponsorship, but this does give me like what do you call it, like a poker table kind of vibes. So, yeah. I can't rock with it. Low C for me.
The way y'all describing it is actually the rating I'm going to give it. I think you guys are being generous considering the way you described it. This is a D through and through. This is a terrible kit. The color combo.
I can agree.
It looks like you can't decide if you want to be Gryffindor or Slytherin, bro. Make up your mind. Like
Look, man, I didn't want all the Brazilians after me,
Hey,
so I'll
Brazil.
agree now that we're in line on
I'm
this. That's
sorry.
indeed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But like, I've had to be real. That's a terrible. Like the sponsor colors, everything is terrible. I'd never wear that.
It really is in line with Seattle. Just looking at the two side by side.
Yeah.
That brings us to our last jersey.
Best for last.
This abomination.
No, hold on. You're not gonna disrespect my Japanese teams, man. This is the Urawa Red Diamonds, man. The only team
Dude,
in the whole competition.
look, the only two things I can respect about this kit are that the badge and Nike logo are centered.
Yeah.
I think that needs to be done more. I don't know why we don't do that more. I can respect that, and I can respect the color. Otherwise, that sponsor is massive and way too close to the badge and Nike logo. And I feel very iffy about sponsors on kind of the upper chest, and that doesn't look good to me. That doesn't. And I feel like the collar should have been just black as well. I don't like how the arm bands are black, but the collar is not. So for me, there are just too many things I dislike that I have to put it low C.
Yeah, this is painfully plain to me, and I agree. The fact that the Nike logo is in the middle of like the sponsorship and the club like logo or shield, I don't know. I don't love that. And then it has like these additional sponsors on like I guess like the collarbone, if you want to call it that. I just can't rock with it. I would have put this at a D. I'll say high D. It's bad, man. It's hard to make for me it's hard to make a red kit look bad, but I just think everything they did missed. Like everything just missed.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've been trolling. I've been trolling with these reactions. This is not a great kit. I think on the players, it actually looks a little better, like in action, but the only redeeming factors for me, like you said, Alexi, the badge and Nike logo being centered, I think looks really good. Actually, I think because they had the two, like the white writing on either side above it, like the symmetricity. I don't know what the word is. Symmetry. Cut that. But no, I'm sorry. The symmetry. Symmetricity is crazy. I'm moving like B-Lou.
Symmetricity.
The symmetry of that works a lot, but like you said, the sponsor is massive. Like, I don't know why it's so big. Pause. But the sponsor is actually just huge. So I'd have to give this a C realistically, because even after everything I said, I'd rather wear that than all the stuff in D. So it's not the worst, but that's not my actual Japanese team I support, so I can't give them too much love.
Yeah. Well, man, we got quite a ranking here. I do feel pretty satisfied though with this. Looking at it as a whole, I think we nailed the S and A tier, and then I think everything else is kind of works where it is. Yeah.
I think because to me the Chelsea is like the quintessential like top of B type kit. I think that was a good gatekeeper to A. And I think you had to be better than the Chelsea kit to make it to A. And I think it's fair that most of the kits below it are solidly, at least if not comparable, then worse than it. So I think it actually worked out pretty well. If anything, I push up, looking at it a little longer, is the Inter kit maybe, and that South African kit. I forget the name of the team. Maybe those, but everything else I'm pretty happy where they are.
I could agree with that. That and the Mexican team, the blue and white.
The V-neck?
I think. Yeah. Even though it's a V-neck, I think
it looks good though. It still looks good.
Could have moved up a bit,